Hello again everybody, back with another video. This one leading on from the last video I uploaded, and this one's called The Code of the Nashville School Shooting Event Part 2. And if you remember from the first one, the big 33 for the number of the building is there, all nicely lit up, and it seems to be in a lot of photographs. But I thought I only did a short video, I should add a little bit more to it, so I thought to spend a bit more time. So let's just get into this video now. So here we have a photograph of this police car here, and take a look at this number plate, 5609 GF, and we've got there 5 and 6 for 11 and 9. You could argue 56 is code as 2, but maybe that's getting a bit too far-fetched. But let's just look at that as 911. But also, if we look at this number and we add 5 and 6, we get 11. We add 9, we get 20. And then we've got a 7 for a G and a 6 for an F. So add all those together, and you've got 20 plus 13 for 33 for masonry. And just to show you this wasn't a one-off, this photograph was actually used in other news footages, so obviously they would have liked to have that car in there for some reason. I don't know what that is. And this one here, Nashville school shootings, 3 children, 3 adults killed at private Christian school. Well, if we look at 3 adults, 3 children, I'll go the other way around, but it doesn't really make any difference. We get 156 in ordinal, 66 in reduction, and 55 in Chaldean. So there's a master number. But this can be 666, the 156 can, and 156 and 66 here in ordinal and full reduction or Pythagorean is also 33. So here's 33 in its written out form, and we get 156 and 56, just like this one. And also 666 gives us 1562, and 911 is the 156 prime number, so that also links in with 911 too. So this is from the school home web page, and it talks here about the faculty, 33 teaching faculty. So we've got a 33 there, as well as the number on the gate to the facility. Here we've got, Bruins, predators on a Nashville school shooting, victims with moment of silence. And here's a picture of the helmet, and it's got 37 on for 3 sevens for 777. Also 37 by 18 gives you 666, so it is a factor of the number 666. Sorry about my squeaky chair. Okay, so this one here is some of the incidents of what actually happened. So here's the first one. After being shot at through the door, 1137. 11 plus 37 gives us 48. And there we've got 666, full reduction, 48. Here we've got classrooms 111 and 112. So we've got, if we had those two together, we get 223, or the other way around, 322. And here we've got shots were fired in the classroom at 1221, so we've got a 3 and a 3 for 33. Now this is interesting. So this is from Wikipedia, this is the Covenant school shooting, the subject of this video, and as you can see, March 27th 2023, a 322 year. And if we look back to 2021, we had this Hialeah shooting where the El Mula banquet hall was rented out for a hip hop concert, and basically 2 vehicles pulled up and the occupants started to shoot into the crowd and killed a number of people and injured a number of people. And this was May the 30th, 2021. Hip hop, by the way, we've got HH, so that's at 88. But hip is 33 in numerology. We've also got the shooting taking place at 12:30. So that could be a 3 and a 3 for 33, or it could be 12 threes for 36, for 3 sixes for 666. And there are actually 3 deaths on this one. So I don't know why this one is so important but it is linked to this one by a number of days. So if we look at this, we've got this shooting on the 30th of May 2021, this Hialeah shooting in Florida, and then we've got the Covenant School shooting, and look at the days in between them, 666 days. Pure coincidence, of course it could be, but it's rather strange that you've got that number coming up between these 2 shootings. Now, if anybody has any information that could possibly explain why there's a link here other than coincidence, it would be interesting to hear your comments. So here we've got the father of the Nashville school shooter. He breaks cover to collect items from his $700,000 home. So we've got a 7 there. And Ronald Hale is 36 in Chaldean, 3 6s for 666. Norma Hale, who's his wife or the shooter's mother, Normal Hale, he's 42 full reduction for 6 times 6 plus 6, and 33 in Chaldean. And we've also got her age is 61, so there's another 6 plus 1 for a 7. And don't forget, I covered this in the last video, but Audrey Hale, the shooter, is also 33 in Chaldean, just like her mother. Coincidence? Then we've got this Nashville school shooter bought 7 guns while under doctor's care for emotional disorder. So tighter gun controls coming in, but we've got 7 there. And Joe Biden says weapons of war must be outlawed, as police reveal that Audrey Hale had originally planned other targets. But incidentally, weapons of war is 156 in ordinal, which, as we saw earlier, is 666. Very interesting that they quoted that. But clearly, as I said in the first one, this incident is just another nail in the coffin towards the confiscation of guns. But as I said in the last one, you can't reset America when people can fight back. So you need to uneven the odds. So this one here, Nashville school shooting, 6 killed. I know there's a 28 here, which could be 4 7s. I think it's another code as well connected to something else, but 6 killed. Happens to be 105 in ordinal, English ordinal, and 42 in full reduction. And both of these linked to 666, because 666 is 105. And say 42 links to it too. But also 911 is 1052. So interesting links there. And so that's all the code for now. So I thought I'd finish off with some witness videos. So let's take a look. Now, just before I play the video, this is the lady that they interviewed, and you'll hear she'd just come out of a doctor's appointment and she was conveniently there, and they interviewed her, and what follows is the interview she gave. And I don't know, the sincerity of it and the spontaneousness of it, you can make your own opinion. But her name is Laura Tosh, and Laura Tosh happens to be 115 in ordinal, for 11 by 5 for 55. And we already saw earlier in the video that 3 adults, 3 children in Chaldean numerology is also 55. So we'll keep our eye out for an ambulance a bit later. Now let's listen to what she's got to say.
Now, we did speak to one Nashvilleian who's actually had a doctor's appointment here. She also tells me she was born right here at Children's Hospital, and she tells me really there is truly no words when she heard the news this morning.
Shock, sadness. I kind of felt, well, we've made the list in not a good way. I'd kind of been speechless and really just kind of sad all day, and a little angry. I'll tell you that I've been a little angry too, because the way that my home state has been treating minorities is really gross. You know, we're all one person, and I just really believe that we should just all love each other.
Laura has just said that the way her home state treats minorities is gross. So what is she getting at there? Somebody that's been interviewed shortly after a shooting. Does she know that Audrey Hale, or Aidan as we'll see later, is part of the LGBT community? Because it just says here that members of the Tennessee LGBT community have said they now fear for their lives after police revealed the shooter Audrey Hale was transgender. And there's other things about her mental health. So is this saying that all this was caused because people wouldn't accept trans identity, and she got mentally disturbed because of the way they treated her, and then went and shot everybody? But this is shortly after the shooting, as you'll see later. And here we go. Look at this one here. It says, twisted school shooter Audrey Hale was at odds with her devout Christian parents because they couldn't accept she was gay and transgender. So is this meaning that Christian parents were unforgiving and caused a lot of the issue with her mental state, which meant she went out and shot people? But this is interesting because it says here, look, that she'd recently adopted the name Aidan. And if anybody fancies another 33, because there's plenty here we go. For Aidan is 33 in English ordinal. A is 1, Z is 26, Aidan is 33 for Masonry. Are you surprised there? And the comments, look at this, 3.7, 3 sevens for 777. But very strange that she would mention that, don't you think?
Now, 5 of the victims again were transported here to Vanderbilt.
Now, we've just seen an ambulance come out, and here's a 5 and a 5 for 55, which I mentioned earlier, with the 3 children, 3 adults, and Laura Tosh. And we've got this ambulance pulling out here, and as the ambulance is pulling out, they mention that 5 of the victims were brought to that hospital. So let's listen again.
Now, 5 of the victims again were transported here to Vanderbilt.
Where it is a level 1 trauma center. The communication spokesperson tells us it's been a very intense morning up in the trauma center. As you can imagine, the medical staff having very difficult conversations with families today.
Now, for the next clip, I have to give you a warning. If you are very, very easily emotionally impacted please don't watch this one because it's really, really sad. And the lady here, obviously going through a very traumatic time, recounting the story. And what I'll do is I'll focus on the eyes so you can see the anguish as the tears pour down her cheeks. It's very, very sad. And I will re-emphasise, please skip it if you are emotionally vulnerable to things like this.
Or I thought maybe it was a bomb threat. And then there were so many police cars. And then the ambulances started coming away from the school. And that's when I had heard there was a school shooting, and that is just...
Now I hope those of you that watched that lady with a very emotional recall of what had happened, I hope you aren't too emotionally disturbed. It was very, very heart-wrenching, I have to admit. And before we leave, I know I said it was the end many minutes ago, but this was the beginning of the attack. And this is Audrey or Aiden's car, and it's coming to the car park. This looks very, very empty at the school. And obviously we've got the camera pointing in this direction, and we've got this ornate street light there. Now if you go onto Google Earth and you look at this, obviously this school, so here's the school, and here is the position, as I reckon, the camera looking in this direction here, and this is where Audrey's car is, or Aiden's car. You can see the trees here, and the way the road bends there. So this car is definitely around this area. So if we look back, you can see 3 large trees here. Here's the lamppost, and we're looking in that direction. Obviously we're at a different time of year on this photograph, but the key is that car park looks bloody empty to me. Here we are again. Here's the 3 trees, look, perfectly in line. There's the car. I think the entrance is somewhere around here, but there's more cars here than actually in this one. Now I just think, if this school started, wouldn't this car park have a few more cars in than that? That's just one of the thoughts, but I think we'll probably leave it there. Hope you haven't been too emotionally distressed by that lady at the end there. I know my heart's aching. So on a sad note, I will say thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and goodbye.